Now, these are the do's and don'ts of resume writing. Qualify and quantify your experiences whenever possible. Include numbers and percentages when possible. What that means is, for example, if you're applying for a multimedia artist and you wanna say that you have impacted like 10% of the employee engagement. You contributed to the 10% employee engagement of the company because of the graphic arts that you have created for them, something like that. Two, you read the job ad carefully and apply for a job internship that you're clearly qualified for. But what I'm saying here is, I'll give you an example. Okay, so recently we were on the lookout for a multimedia artist, and this girl whose course was not really directly related to multimedia arts, but I think a psychology student applied, even though she has skills for that. So what I did is I replied to the email and asked her to send us a copy of her portfolio or sample graphic arts files, for example. And she no longer replied after that. It's okay to take risk and to like shoot for the moon, but as much as possible, read the job ad completely and carefully so that you know if you have a chance to actually get qualified for considered for that role. Three, use only appropriate colors and aesthetics for your resume, meaning the content should be king, and it's like the design and the aesthetics and how it would look will just be a supporting actor or actress. So the star should be the content of your resume. Four, specify job related skills you know or software apps you're skilled at. For example, Google Suite app is what we like using at Penn Brothers, and other stuff. For example, if you're applying for a software developer intern, something like that, to specify as much as possible what apps and software you guys are skilled at. And five, if you must specify hobbies, limit it to 3 to 5 words related to these are general areas of interest: food, travel, sports, family, and learning. Because these are the things that can actually connect to your potential recruiters. And it might be they might raise an interesting question during the interview as well if you write anything within these topics. Now, these are the don'ts. Don't use inappropriate font styles. Example, Comic Sans, Futura, Papyrus, and the likes. In terms of the cursive ones, if you're applying for fashion related or creative, you just have to make sure that these art fonts, they call it art fonts, are big enough to be read, and make sure that you still are able to deliver the message in order for you to get that interview. And two, don't use cliches like team player, hard worker, detail oriented, unless they are keywords from the job description, because we want the employer to actually know that, okay, this is a right match, this is a good fit, because these are the ones we're looking for in the job ad. And then do not send your resume in Word file, because what will happen is if you send it in the Word file, some of the formatting there might get skewed, or your photo might actually go to the very bottom of your, you know what I mean. So send it in PDF as much as possible. And then don't go below 9 point for your font size, because it may become hard to read if you go below the 9 point font. Five, don't rush to submit a resume. Review it for misspellings and grammar mistakes. Let me just give you a real life story from an applicant. Yes, there are minor mistakes in her resume, but we were still able to give her a chance for an interview because I looked at the other content, and what happened was she was initially applying for a multimedia artist, but when I looked at her profile, despite a few misspellings, I referred her to HR, and now she's our HR associate intern.